Alright, so this is, I've pulled some examples that are similar to the homework and what you'll see on the quiz, just because you can understand some questions that were worded a little differently. So I'm not going to set them up in quite as much detail. I'm just going to give you sort of the answers and not write out the formula. Make sure you always read the problems carefully and make sure you don't round to the very end of the problem. That's the key things with anything, especially for this class, but with anything in this class. Alright, so suppose that you went to find a mortgage. Your terms of your mortgage is 30 years for 6.5%. The lending agency, based on your income and your monthly payment, can be at most $740. How much can you borrow? Around your answer, the nearest cent. All right, so this one's asking you how much you can borrow. And so when you go to the formula, it's the second one there. It's the second one that you want to use. The amount borrowed, we know the monthly payments, right? That's the 740. So we're given the monthly payment. We want to find the loan amount. How expensive of a house can you afford? Your interest rate is your APR. Divide by 12, and again, leave that exact. Your T is your 12 times years, which is 30. So T is 360. All right, so make sure you're careful with that one. So again, you want to fill out that formula. When you do, the answer should come out, whether you use the formula or the finance key. Again, you make sure you figure out how to type it in your calculator as best as you can. But you're looking for the loan, the principal, all right, the original amount borrowed, the amount you're financing for, the amount you're borrowing, which you can borrow up to $117,706. And if you're rounding to the penny, this one rounds to the actual penny, 0.01. All right, we can make, this is another one where they're giving you the payments. All right, you can make $350 payments per month for 4 years. What's the largest amount that you can borrow? What's the largest loan you can get if your APR is 5%? So again, you're asked to find the loan amount, the present value, the amount borrowed. You're given the monthly payments, which is 350, so that's what you're given. Your interest rate is 0.05, divide by 12. Your T is 12 times 4, right, for 4 years, which is 48 months. All right, that's how many payments you're going to make. All right, so find your monthly payment, or no, sorry, you know your monthly payment, find your loan principal. Again, either using the formula or the finance key. Either way, when you type it all out, you should come out that you can borrow $15,198, and I'm going to round to the penny, because most problems ask you to round to the penny, 3 cents. Assume you can take out a $3,000 loan for 12 months at 8.5 APR. What percentage is your first month's payment in interest? So this is asking you, like I did that last problem with the mortgage case, how much is your, again, it's a fairly large chunk typically. Now this is a small amount, so this will be much smaller than the loan payment, but you'll still end up paying quite a bit just in interest. All right, so to figure out the first month's interest, you have to figure out your monthly payment, how much interest you paid in the first month, and remember, the percent is the first month's interest divided by your payment times your 100%. All right, so that's what you have to figure out. So find your monthly payments. You can use the formula, the finance key, again, whatever it is, you'll use it out. When you're finding your monthly payment, your interest rate is 0.085 divided by 12. That's your monthly interest rate, which you need that to figure out the top part. Right, that's my monthly interest rate. That's how much you pay on the percent of money every month. T is 12. right? They gave you the months. They told you for 12, so 1 year. You're paying this loan off in 1 year. So you're paying it off pretty quickly. So actually your percent on your interest won't be too big in this one. All right, so the monthly payments you can figure out using either the formula or the finance key. When you do, the monthly payments come out to $216, and we're round to the penny, 66 cents. So again, the monthly payment that comes either from the formula for monthly payment or the finance key for the monthly payment. I mean, that's not the answer. That's the bottom part of this percent ratio. The next thing you need is, well, how much interest did you pay on your, and I didn't give myself a whole lot of room, so I'm going to write this in a different color kind of in between here. Alright, we want to figure out, well, how much was your first month's interest? And so you take the amount you owed times the monthly interest rate. So you're going to take your $3,000 times R to figure out how much interest you owed, or how much interest you incurred, how much interest is added to your balance at the end of the first month. And so you take your $3,000, take it times this R exactly, so the 0.085 divided by 12, and the added interest for month 1 is $21.25. So that means you have to add $21.25 to your loan, subtract away your monthly payment, and then that's how much you owe for the second month. Right? And so what we want to figure out, well, how much is this 20? So this is just interest that you've incurred. You do pay it off in this amount. Right? What percent is the $21.25 of your actual payment? And so that's what you're going to divide. So you're going to take your $21.25, the amount of interest you incurred on that first month, divided by the payment you made on that first month, and then multiply by your 100% to make it a percent. And so it comes out 8.12% of your first payment went to interest. Alright, so this was not as bad as the mortgage. The mortgage payment was almost 60% of your first payment went to interest. It was a much bigger amount for a much longer amount of time. This is a much smaller amount over only a year, so again, when you paid off quicker, you paid less in interest. So only 8% of your first payment was interest. The rest of it, so almost 92% of it went to actually paying off your debt. Alright, problem number 4. Alright, suppose you buy a 2-year, $7,500 CD, APR of 6.75% compounded monthly. How much interest do you pay? This one I threw in there because there's a problem like this in your homework. This is a throwback question. Notice there's nothing in here about borrowing money. This is an investment. So this is actually something from 4.1, and there is one of these, I believe, on the homework. And so it's sort of throwing you in there to remind you, hey, don't forget the stuff we did earlier. And so there's no loan, there's no monthly payment. This is just a straight interest type. So the formula you would use would be the future value is your principal times 1 plus r raised to the t. Now r and t are the same. R is still your APR 0.0675 divided by your month, 12. T is still your monthly, your interest rates, times years, 2 years, so T is 24. Alright, and they go into that formula. So future value is 7500 times 1 plus 0.0675 divided by 12 raised to the 24, and so the $7,500 grew to $8,580.78. That's not the answer yet. We want interest. So you take your future value, 8580.78, minus the original amount that you invested, and the difference is your interest, which is $1,080.78 and change. So make sure you're careful. And this is, again, like the quiz too. The questions will be mixed together, so this is a good example of getting you ready for the quiz. You have to recognize, is it the loan case, or is it the installment loan case? And it is the wording. Right? Nowhere in there did it say that you borrowed money. Nowhere in there did it say you're going to make monthly payments. It just said you invested a certain amount that was compounded over a certain amount. So this was a 4.1 case for compounding interest. All right, so again, you have to sort of pay attention to those keywords. Is it a loan? Well, somewhere in there should say we're borrowing money, and somewhere in there it should be saying we're making monthly payments, or we're finding monthly payments. Alright, for some reason I started the numbers over again. But, well, okay, problem number 1 again. Alright, find the interest paid on a 30-year mortgage if your APR is 6%. Alright, so interest, remember, is all of your monthly payments minus the amount you borrowed, so the difference is the interest. This one should be pretty big. That's a large amount of money that you're paying off in 30 years. So first thing you have to figure out, right, to figure out interest, you have to find your monthly payments times the number of payments, which is T, so monthly payments times T, minus the loan amount, which again, the loan amount was the amount borrowed, $350,000. All right, so I have to figure out monthly payments in T. Well, T is for 12 months, for 30 years, we're going to make monthly payments, so that's $360. And then for the monthly payments, you're going to use your formula or the finance key. Alright, where again R is your 0.06 divided by 12, which that R actually comes out fairly nice. The monthly interest rate in that case is 0.005 that you'll plug into the formula. Plug it in the formula, make sure you're careful, try it on your own, right? Again, make sure you can plug it in and you know how to get to the monthly payments on your calculator. The monthly payments should come out, whether you're using the formula or the finance key, $2,098.43, which again is not the answer. That's the monthly payments. You're going to pay those 360 times. Alright, so you're going to take your monthly payments, $2,098.43. You're going to pay that 360 times. That's how much you end up paying on your loan. You subtract the loan, which is $350,000, and the extra is the interest, and this actually comes out to quite a lot. It's actually more than double the original amount. Which again is typical for a 30-year mortgage of that large of amount. $350,000 is big. And so if you only pay the minimum monthly payments for 30 years, you're going to pay more than double what you actually borrowed. You're going to pay, this is the extra, right? You're going to pay that much more, $405,434.80 extra to the $350,000 you borrowed, right? So you almost actually end up paying almost $1 million. You end up paying $800,000, I think. It's real close to, no, it's $750,000 if you add up the $350 and the $400. All right, so again, you end up paying out quite a bit. But remember, that is a large mortgage payment. Alright, to buy a car, you plan to borrow $23,000. You get an APR of 7%. What's your monthly payment? Round to the nearest cent. So again, APR, if you're using the formula, your R is 0.07 divided by 12. Leave it exact. T is 12 times 5, so you end up making 60 monthly payments. And so again, your monthly payment, fill it out on the calculator. If you fill it out on the calculator, make sure you practice this. I'm just giving you the answers because I want you to practice it. See if you should get the same answers that I get. $455.43 is your monthly payment. How much did you actually pay in interest? Remember, interest is your monthly payments, 455.43 times how many payments you made. You made 60 of them, right? That's what the T represents. Minus the amount you borrowed. Well, the amount you borrowed was the $23,000, and so the extra is the interest, and the interest comes out to $4,325.50. Or 80 cents, sorry. 80 cents. Alright, next example. Assume that you take out $8,000 in a loan for 33 months with a 3.5% APR. How much interest will you pay at the end of the 33 months? Round your answer to the nearest cent. So you're figuring out interest again. Remember, interest is your total payments minus the loan. So we have to figure out total payments. R is our 0.035 divided by 12. T is given to you. That's what the 33 months represent. 33 months is how many payments you make. So they're giving you T in this case. When they give you the months, they're telling you the T amount. That's how many payments. You're going to make 33 payments. All right, that's what the T is. And so again, you'll use your formula to figure out your payments, your monthly payments. Again, the amount borrowed was $8,000. Plug it in the formula carefully. Leave this exact. If you do, you should get out your monthly payment is $254.65. $254.65. Double check it. Make sure you know you can get that on your calculator. That's not the answer. The answer is the interest. You find your total payments where you're going to make 33, right? 33 represents the total payments, how many months you're paying this back, of $254.65. So this is your total payments minus the amount you borrowed, and that's the extra, the interest. So the interest comes out to be 33 times 254.65 minus 8,000. Not too bad. Actually, $403. And 45 cents. Alright, Stuart purchased a new car. Agreed upon the purchase price, including taxes and fees, $19,500. He has two options to finance. Option 1, 0% for 72 months, which that's a pretty good option. Option 2, $2,500 rebate and an APR of 3% for those same 72 months. Alright, so option 1, he has to pay $19,000, 500 over 72 months. Alright, so take that 19,500 divided by 72, and that will give you your monthly payment if you choose option 1. So monthly payment, $270.83 would be the monthly payment. You pay exactly $19,500, right? You just break it down over 72 months. All right, option 2. You get a rebate of $2,500, which means you take that off the top. You take your $19,500 minus your $2,500, and you get $17,000 is what you're going to take your loan out for. That's your loan. At 3% interest, so your interest rate is 0.03 divided by 12. T is 72 months, right? They gave you the months. That's how many times you're going to make 72 payments. That's what T represents. All right, so the first thing you're going to find out is your monthly pay. And from that, actually, you can figure out whether or not this is better. If it comes out to be smaller than 270, this is the way to go. If it comes out bigger than 270, then you go with the first option. Alright, so you plug it into the formula. Just make sure you're really careful when you plug it into the formula. If you plug it into the formula, it should come out $258.29, which now I know this is the better method. Option number 2 is the better option because you're going to pay less. How much less? We'll take that $258.29, multiply it by your 72 payments, and you're only going to, it's not a whole lot, $18,596.88. Here you pay the total $19,500. So you save almost $1,000 though. $1,000 is a significant amount of money, so the rebate is the better way to go. Option 2 is the better of the two cases. All right, you're going to pay less a month and you're going to pay less total. So option 2 is the way to go. All right, I'm going to stop there.